It's springtime in November with warmer temperatures and storms on the way. So we'll get into some of those details here in this update. First of all, there's not much on radar right now, but I will say that as we go through the day today, we're going to have plentiful moisture from the Gulf of Mexico that will be surging into North Texas. We could see a few light showers, especially tonight, I think overnight tonight. For the most part, though, I think most of the day will stay dry. If we do get any rain, it's going to be light. I don't think we have to deal with any thunderstorms during the day today. Let's look at the temperatures here. It's going to be warm, okay? We're looking at temperatures right around 80 degrees. I have temperatures a little bit lower to the south because I do think that we will have a little more humidity in cloud cover that will probably keep those areas a little bit cooler. We're going to have cloud cover pretty much all over the area, but it's harder to warm up where there's humid air. So we won't get quite as warm in the southern counties here where the humidity will be a little higher across the area. So here's what we have today. As I mentioned, we have that plentiful Gulf moisture moving into North Texas. Here's the system we've been watching, and I mentioned that dry line. Those things are going to come into play tomorrow. We're going to continue to see moisture flow in. This dry line will push to the east as this cold front does the same, really a Pacific front. There's not a lot of cold air behind this. And here's what we're looking at tomorrow. I know this is a busy map, and I probably look like that meme where the guy is pointing at the cork board with all the crazy stuff on it. So here's what we have going on for tomorrow. We have that Gulf moisture moving in. So this is indicating that we are in the what we call the warm sector, which means we're going to have warm, moist air across North Texas. We have the dry line here, and that cold front will move in and approach it. We call that a triple point. That's probably been talked about a little bit from different sources, so that will ignite these storms. The other thing, too, is we have this divergence in the jet stream here. So we have the jet stream that moves one direction and then kind of pushes off the other way. That split in the atmosphere, that split in that jet stream is going to add additional lift. So we have a perfect setup for severe weather across North Texas. These storms will pop up quickly. Once everything is in place, they'll pop up ahead of the dry line. That's kind of going to act as the impetus or the spark, if you will. That's going to be where we see those storms pop up. And it will be pretty close to I-35, most likely at this, what we see from this point, pretty close to I-35 when those start to develop. So we are in an enhanced risk. Let me kind of get out of the way here. An enhanced risk of severe weather for this whole area in orange. That's tier 3 out of 5. Slight risk farther to the west, marginal, and then no risk from there. Again, we're talking about the dry line probably being right around here, right around this area. So west of 35. I do expect the storms to start to develop kind of around our area. That's where some of the models are right now. This is one of those systems where the speed of it has been changing a little bit. So that could change a little bit, but overall, this whole area is looking at a pretty decent chance of severe weather. Here's the variable, though. We don't quite know if we will see supercell thunderstorms or if we will see the squall line. What we're expecting to see is that we will see spotty storms pop up. Those will be our supercells, and then eventually they will congeal into a straight line, a squall line, if you will. So over time, one kind of set of threats will lead to the other. The question is where will the supercells first pop up, and then how long will it take for them to become that straight line? And where will that occur? So this could change, and really especially where we expect different modes of severe weather could change. Here's what we have right now. We are under that enhanced risk of severe weather. Yes, I do have a low threat of tornadoes. We'll get to that in a moment. The biggest threat here is damaging winds, because if you get a supercell thunderstorm or that squall line, either way, we're looking at the possibility of damaging winds across the area. Pretty big possibility either way, depending on really not dependent on which mode of severe weather you get or what form it takes. Either way, we will have that threat for damaging winds. Hail is a pretty decent bet as well, at least with some of those storms. Again, if we get supercell thunderstorms, we have a higher hail threat for larger hail. But if we get the squall line, we could have some hail in that line too. So that I've got that at moderate. I do have a low tornado threat here. As I've said many times, if we get that straight line, if we get that squall line that comes through, in that case, we could be looking at a lower chance for tornadoes, and really the only thing that we would be worried about at that point is those QLCS tornadoes that pop up right on the front edge of a squall line there. But that said, if we get more of those individual supercell thunderstorms, those will have a higher chance for tornadoes, particularly tornadoes that will possibly become stronger and last longer than those other squall line tornadoes. So that's kind of where we see things going, and there is still a lot of specifics to work out. Over the next 24 hours, we'll get much more information about kind of what this is going to look like. I know I've already received messages today. The thing is, we need to wait and see what we come up with over the next 24 hours, where things stand, the speed of the system in question, kind of where we think the dry line and that triple point will be tomorrow. That will be a big determining factor, and there's just a little bit of uncertainty still kind of in play as to those details. So here's the forecast overall. Again, 20% chance of rain today. That may be a little bit high. I'm kind of favoring our southern counties there, Hill and Navarro counties. Best chance of rain there. And again, any rain that we get today is going to be brief. It will probably be light rain, kind of like what we saw this past weekend at the Texas Country Reporter Festival, just that annoying, drizzly, misty kind of stuff, I think is mostly what we'll see. South winds of 5 to 15 miles per hour. Strong south winds, again, pumping in that Gulf moisture. 80 degrees today. Tomorrow, we had that storm system coming in. 90% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the afternoon. As far as timing, people are asking about that too. Timing is kind of hard to tell at this point. We'll probably start seeing storms develop right around 3 or 4 o'clock. So daytime heating tomorrow, 3, 4 p.m., and then we'll go on from there, and we'll probably be done by midnight. But again, we have to kind of wait and see what the position of everything looks like before we really know timing. 77 degrees tomorrow. Looks like we could avoid some of that peak heating if some of those storms were around during that time. South winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour, gusting to 20 to 30 miles per hour. It's going to be windy tomorrow. You will feel that warm, humid wind throughout the day tomorrow, and that's going to give you that something's coming feeling. Tuesday, much cooler, at least cooler than today. Today and tomorrow, really. West winds in the morning, turning back to the northwest winds, turning back to the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Could see a gust of 15 or so. Could be a little bit breezy at times. 68 degrees, cooler, sunny skies. I think it's going to be a lot nicer. And then Sunday, Monday, we're back in the mid to upper 90s, really the rest of the week. Mid-90s Sunday, south winds of 5 to 15 miles per hour, 10 to 15 there. I think we could put 5 to 15. We may have some calmer winds at times. 74 degrees, so we start warming up again. Those northwest winds don't last very long. This Pacific front doesn't really bring a lot of cool air, so we will have plenty of opportunity to warm up. 79 on Monday, could have a few showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Then 78 degrees Tuesday and Wednesday with more of those southerly winds warming us up. So later in the week, we're going to stay warm. It's not going to feel like November for a while. We're getting into springtime today and tomorrow. Make sure you are following Ellis County weather, though, for updates on tomorrow's storms. I'll be monitoring it throughout the rest of the day today and all day tomorrow. I will start bringing specifically severe weather updates later today. We'll do those all the way through tomorrow. And then as the storms start to develop and move into our area, I will bring live coverage for you as we make sure that we keep an eye on all this, because things will change, things will be refined, things will adjust. I know people want a lot of details right now. Stay tuned to be patient, and I will bring updates as they become clear.